Hello everyone and welcome back. Before I begin, I'm just going to go ahead and give a quick apology ahead of time. Some of the proper names from things are not English, so I'm going to pronounce a lot of things wrong and I'm very sorry about that. For character building, world building sakes, the author of the book decided to make up their own words, which is perfectly fine. It adds to the characteristics of the book. There's a word dneg, D-N-E-G. Based on the context that word is always used in, I'm pretty sure that would translate to day in English. So, with that out of the way, the book I'm reviewing today is Stazr, The World of Z, The Dawn of Aether by Dr. Anay Ayarovu. That is how her name is spelled, and I am just so very sorry that I have butchered her name. This book does a lot of things right, and there's a few things that you need to keep in mind if you want to read this book, which you should. It's a good story, but there's some things you need to keep in mind. The Doctor, as I will refer to her to keep from butchering her name and being offensive, her writing style is best suited for Audible books. And I don't mean like Audible the company, I mean like books that you read with your ears, not with your mouth.
Hey guys, I caught this one in editing. Sorry about that. I meant to say eyes, not mouth. This book isn't meant for toddlers.
It was translated from Russian to English. It is perfectly written vocal English. So, if you want to get this book, turn on your text-to-speech option in the digital book and enjoy. What this author does really well is descriptions. I'm going to read you two short passages and to show you what I mean by this. How the Doctor describes things that I just find breathtaking. And this is the protagonist, Lael, speaking, I believe. I turned around and paused to admire the pale pink reflection of the slowly rising Ioran in 100 shallow ponds stretching out before us between narrow strips of milky white sand. Gorgeous. I love it. I love it. But the second passage shows that the Doctor doesn't always describe beautiful things very well. The Doctor often can describe things that are quite ugly very well. Here's an example of what I mean by describing things that are kind of ugly, but in very good detail. I can see it. We heard a groan coming from inside. Then the opening quickly widened right before my eyes, and out spilled the great, who had once been great. I was hit by a stinking cloud of his stale breath. Graying, grotty locks of disheveled hair formed a tangled mass, and hung down like a twisted icicles. It clearly had not been washed in seasons. His face, while still handsome, was now covered in a thick web of wrinkles, and he wore a once-faded robe. It covered him entirely, as was proper, but I did spy some small telltale threads. Clearly he had tried to darn the thing himself, that were proof that it had seen better days. You guys have noticed that on this channel I previously reviewed two books called After the Shot Drops and Dark Orbit. I read each of those books through in about a day each. You cannot do this with this book. Do not. You will rob yourself of the experience. This book is best enjoyed a chapter a day or read a little bit here and there because there's a lot of information in each line. As I read the book, it needs to have a lot of time dedicated to read it. I didn't really have many trigger warnings to speak of in this book. There was one scene, Lael has a dream, and it's their body, limbs, everywhere, and it's a little bit creepy, but it's kind of surreal and cool at the same time. The way she described it, I don't think it would be triggering to anybody, even if you've suffered the loss of a child. I don't think it'd be too triggering. But yeah, just keep that in mind. My overall rating of this book is 4 out of 5. The story is enjoyable, the story is worth your time, but it does take you a while to get through. That's my only thing that I can say that's mildly a critique of this book. Look in the description for the link to the book and to the social media publisher website of Dr. Ayarovu. Sorry again, ma'am, that I have butchered your name at least 3 times in this video. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time for another review. Bye!